if you're not journaling, you're not be able to see the improvements you're making or where you're going up against. I started journaling back in, I think it was August last year, and that has been a real source of absolute value. You know, if you find yourself running up against the same headlong blocks again and again, you find yourself getting to the same cycles again and again. For me personally, I found myself getting the cycles. I get attached, get fixated on a person, get really obsessed with them, and then it'll blow up. It'll blow up my face. I'm very anxiously attached to the person. I'm very clingy, very dependent, very just emotionally unstable when it comes to relationships. And that's something I've really got to try. I'm trying to work on nowadays. But it still happens. It still happens. It blows up. And through journaling, it's really an amazing skill. I've been able to see like over time, like, oh, this month, okay, I was working on this, and oh wait, no, I got attached to this person, I got fixated, and then I could see myself, and I can see all these trackers around me alongside the habit tracker as well. I see the days when I don't hit everything are the days when things aren't going right. I'm losing myself in fantasy, I'm losing myself in what could be and what is, and not actually grounding myself here in the present moment. So I'm still struggling, man. I'm not the most productive person, to be honest. Self improvement didn't come naturally to me. I had to fight tooth and nail because I don't want to change. I don't want to exert myself. And neither did younger Karen. I mean, this is who I'm doing these videos for. My younger self, really. He didn't want change. He didn't want improvement. He just wanted the pleasure and he wanted it now. And look what that got him. Look what that got him. But journaling is a really powerful skill. Just being able to journal and look back at my injuries, look back where I've gone wrong, where I can improve, and sort of as well set myself concrete tasks as well. I practice this journal called future self journaling. It's mentioned by Dr. Nicole LePera in her book How to Do the Work. I'll link it down below. Really good book, really a great baseline on like how basically kind of a good understanding of mental health, boundaries, all those kind of things, and trauma. None of those are essentially that what the whole book is about, but it looks at all those things holistically in a way where you can say, okay, this is an area I need to focus on, and this is the area I need to focus on. That book, for me, for example, brought up a lot of issues with trauma and a lot of issues with boundaries as well. In a good way, in a way I was able to say, oh wow, I have an issue with this, when before I couldn't even address that. But going back to the subject at hand, journaling has just been so fundamentally powerful, and even in a more realistic sense, just in terms of my addiction, growing as a person, I can see when I relapse what things have been going wrong. I've got in my journal like I'm gonna fucking pull it up actually. Yeah, I'm like days after coming back from relapse, I can just see for myself, where, just the kind of chaos I was in, the pain I was in. Because what happens when you start to get clean and when you start to, make progress, you're doing the good things, you're on a habit tracker, you forget how down bad it was. If I had like a video of myself or something, that would be amazing as well. Let me try and see. I'm going to pull it up from my journal from last year. So I started this back in August. Yeah, God, so the 15th of August. Yeah, no, I'm going to read it again. 25th of August. No, August? No. July. Yeah, this is July. 25th of July. Nothing to say about this subject as been said before. It's been going for 10 whole years. Stop the guilt tripping, stop the crying, and stop simpering. You don't want the results of your actions, do you? So I was writing this on the 25th of July, coming back from basically a week-long binge where I was out living in the woods, just smoking cannabis and drinking alcohol and living like an animal. Just living a primitive existence, just getting high, not wanting to face reality. This is where my addiction takes me. Yeah, what else to say? It's funny. Only sober and sad now do I feel remorse. I'm so goddamn sick of fucking up everything that happens in my life. Everything is my fault and my addiction stems from me. It wants you dead, before that it wants you lonely. It wants to cut away every good thing in your life and leave you alone with it. I'm seeing my parents die in front of me from the stress of it. On one hand, I'm scared of living alone. I remember at university and how alone I felt in my room. On the other hand, it would be sensible to leave my home, my family, my children, live for yourself. You know? I love my mum very much. It fucking hurts. So much so when she's like this with me. But what can she do? I've driven her literally insane with this fear and worry. No wonder she's so harsh. She and Dad have Simran, my sister, to look after. Why invest all this time in the lagging ship when she's clearly the winning horse? This is just awful, man. Yeah, no, and the 26th of July as well, I wrote there. Why the fuck can't I just go sober? What mythical event do I need to be ready to drink, smoke, whatever? There's a great comedian, Bill Burr, and he talks about quitting drinking. And he's quite funny, and he says, he used up all his fun days drinking back in his youth. And I've used up my fun days drinking and doing drugs without ever really having fun. They weren't fun, to be honest. And yeah, I've written it in my journal here for myself, something to add, trying to find the words. It's like bile or acid churning up my guts. This feeling. Please, whatever you do, think of using but do before you think of using this feeling right here. This is what will be the result. It's this horrible feeling of like, what's the saying? staying clean is a lot better, is a lot easier than, getting clean. The process of getting clean, actually feeling the drug leaving your system. I remember coming back from this, I couldn't sleep for a week straight. I could not sleep for a fucking week straight because of all the fucking cannabis I smoked and all the shit in my system. I was just looking at my bed, sweating the shit out every night. I couldn't sleep, just from the alcohol as well, and I just couldn't fucking sleep. It was awful. It's, yeah. And there I've got my first NA meeting as well, actually. So the 27th, went to my first NA meeting for the first time in a while. It was good, but terrifying to be back in this. Even as I type, I'm scared of going in person to a meeting, but I know I need to. This is, yeah. And then the 30th, like 4 days after, I'm going to meetings, things are coming out of my system, I'm starting to exercise again, There's a fire in me now. I can't stop it burning. What do I want out of life? I want to die clean. I want to give my life for something or to something much larger than my petty wants or need. I feel alive for the first time in a long time. I think I must have watched the Last Samurai, which is a really good movie with Tom Hanks in it, I think, or Tom Cruise. No, Tom Cruise in it. But I must have watched that with my dad back then. And yeah, that was very powerful actually watching that film. It was a good film. It's just sort of like accepting death and the kind of samurai code and all those sort of things really, that I really value and I really respect. But yeah, this being able to go back, let me see, is just so sobering. I've got all the stuff about like being keto friendly. Yeah, no. Like I can see myself now. I was getting hired by this company, that I'm working for at the moment. Um, yeah, I was looking at this company I was working for, and it's the things that have flown away. I was getting interviews, I was volunteering as well, and yeah, a lot of it is a bit kind of scattered as well. Actually, I won't lie. Some of the stuff isn't exactly the most coherent thought, but yeah, I think the future stuff journaling method is basically, if I could pull up my actual journal here, it's basically having like I think 4 bullet points. The first one is essentially today I'm practicing, and then so basically what you're practicing today. And for the moment, I'm currently doing detaching from my thoughts and feelings. That's what I'm currently practicing. And then what you're grateful for. So I'm grateful for. And then it could be something like, a chance to practice detachment. It has to be all kind of interlinked. It's almost repetitive. It could be like a chance to practice detachment of these feelings. This difficult situation coming at work or school that gives me the chance to detach from these feelings. And then you say, today I am. And then, you could say, today I guess you could just say today I am detaching my feelings, or today I'm going to be more aware when feelings come up as well. You can do it in really whatever kind of way you fit for personal really. And then there's a fourth point: changing this area allows me to feel. This one, yeah, so it allows me to feel less subject to my thoughts and feelings when they come up, less able to step back and say, oh wow, my brain's being silly, my brain is so ridiculous. You have to kind of have that meta level analysis, and I'll talk about this in other videos as well, of like being able to realize your thoughts aren't you. And then the actuality of it. Today I'm practicing when I have difficult thoughts about my family, when I have difficult thoughts about friends, when I think about that thing that happened in the past that felt really shit, and I'm so angry at those people, I want them to get back at them. Or the other round, or like, or I'm practicing when, I'm obsessing over this person or this thing or this game or whatever, and I'm thinking about that. And I could just bring myself back to this present moment, I can detach from it. And that's the future self journaling side of it. And the two other things I do as well, before I just go into like the stream of consciousness kind of journaling, I do what my old belief is, and then I do what my new beliefs is. So I write down things that I think are my old beliefs, so that I'm not enough, I'm unlovable, I'm ugly, I'm worthless, I won't be successful. Those are like the 5 things I write down that I say, that's what I used to believe. And then underneath that bullet point, I say the new beliefs are, I am enough, I am lovable, I am beautiful, my hour is worth £50, and I will be successful. And I've just been doing that repetitively. I can tap into a bit about visualization, but that might be its own separate video, because visualization is a very powerful tool. But I think just saying that to yourself, saying you're lovable, that's something that really stuck out to me. Someone shared at a meeting, they said they could see themselves as lovable, and this was like a big 40-year-old man, who was able to say he could see himself as lovable. Isn't that a beautiful thing? someone's able to change their whole mindset, you know, from being an addict, from being so cast down and just hurt by the world and society. Oh, by society, boys. But yeah, I could be more careful with that shit. Just hurt by the world and society. They're able to be real and just say, you know what, I can be lovable. It's a powerful thing. You control your thoughts and your feelings. What is it they say? You know, an emotion lasts 90 seconds. That's all it lasts, 90 seconds. And you don't have to be subject to them. I do feel my message of my videos sometimes blow over as well, but realistically speaking, journaling is such a great tool because I can just string together, what is the saying? It's like you've got a necklace and you can string together your mistakes in that necklace and you can see them keep coming up again and again and again. I think all the great thinkers journaled, you know, all the great thinkers had time to sit, to reflect, to ponder where they're at, where they're doing. You know, Marcus Aurelius was a known sort of proponent of journaling, but I'm sure all great men, all great politicians, or everyone who's ambitious and successful, journaling helps slow down your thinking. It helps actually get your thoughts onto paper, and they can't lie to you as well. You can go back in a month's time and read them and say, oh yeah, I was thinking about that, and you can be as brutally honest. I'll be honest, Hamza says to do it on a pencil and paper, like a journal, old-fashioned way. That's perfectly fine. My handwriting is completely dog shit. I won't lie to you here. My handwriting's awful. So I do it on a Google document. And I have a folder called Morning. I open up all my documents. Everything comes up. My Google journal, my visualization list, you know, the Duolingo lessons I've got to do for today. All that stuff comes up. So I've just got it there and I batch it all together. But journaling's a really powerful skill, guys. I wouldn't sleep on it. It's going to help you out a lot in the future. And the sooner you start it, what's the saying, you know, the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. The second best time is now. It's only going to build and build, and you're going to have a treasure trove of events and memories and just, you know, things that you wouldn't even think of that you can look back on and be proud of and see where you made mistakes. I hope this helped, guys. And remember, keep it the fight.